Good morning, everybody. We are live. Me, my left hand man. I always say my right hand man, but it is I, Pat Bernard, aka the Gobbler, aka Pat from Ambler, and I'm with my right hand man. Oh God, there I go. I'm screwing up already. I need some coffee.
Right,
Mike, give me some
left. I would not want to be his hand no matter what.
Yes. I use. They come in handy.
No one was
Next team I. But here we go. Mike Lauro, good morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
And I'm doing phenomenal. And of course, the man producing the show today, our main man, Al Safiri. Al, how you doing today?
Great fellow.
Dude, I love him to death, baby, but I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. I love him.
It makes you feel better. My middle name's Mike, so if you kind of screw up, it's not terrible.
Yes, you can tell I need some
coffee. It's like when you have a wife and a girlfriend, always make sure they have the same first name. That way you don't ever make the mistake.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, listen, yesterday in New York, there was a pitcher showdown between deGrom and Nola. You couldn't ask for more Red October baseball than being presented here in August. And,
I got a bone to pick with you, too.
Hey, listen, a lot of guys
30 seconds after the game ends last night.
He's
imploding. Right away, here. See, that's Nola. Guy gave up one run. One run.
Yeah.
One run. To that Mets lineup, one run. Yeah, no one did his job.
You're the reason when I brought up on the post game with Matty B last night, the Titans final. You were the first thing I wrote down when I'm watching the game for my points. I'm like, thank you, Pat Bernard.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously. I mean, dude, going into the series, you're facing the Mets' three best pitchers, and the Phillies are throwing out their three best pitchers. If you take 2 out of 3, that's success. That's a successful trip to New York. You're not going to. Everybody's worried about catching them in the season series. You weren't going to do that. They were just too far ahead. They jumped on us really good early on.
Listen, I'm not ruling out possibly taking first. It's a possibility. Don't get me wrong.
No, I listen. The Mets won't be there.
I honestly feel that the Phillies have a fighting chance to do that, but the odds of us sweeping them this weekend were slim to none.
Right, and the odds of sweeping them next weekend is going to be slim to none too. They're just too good of a baseball team.
Taking 3 out of 4 next weekend, 2 out of 3 this weekend would be a huge victory.
Yes, but this is what I saw the Mets schedule because I wanted to see what they put all their eggs in the basket for this weekend.
Right.
Yeah, you know who's coming in right behind us, right? To play the Mets. The Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
Right.
The Braves got them for, I think, 3 or 4.
4.
They got them for 4.
Yeah.
So they're going to get Scherzer at the tail end of that, which, by the way, I'm sorry. I was not impressed with Scherzer the other night. To me, it looked like he was throwing slop up there, and we helped him out more than he looked dominant.
Here's the one thing about Scherzer I always point out to people. He's not always a guy that, like deGrom, when he's healthy, he's going to strike you out. I mean, did you see the strikeout line for him?
Yeah.
It was like minus 1,500 for him to hit 7+ strikeouts or 7.5 strikeouts or whatever it was.
Well, the Phillies helped him out a lot too.
But that's the kind of. I mean, the guy averages 99 miles per hour fastball. I mean, that's what he's there for. He's overpowering. He's going to strike you out, and he's got a sinker that's just going to fool you a lot. And remember, anything over 98 miles per hour, you can't see the ball for 15% or 50% of the time. The ball literally is invisible to the naked eye from like halfway between the plate and the pitcher. Like, it's science behind that. So Scherzer's not that kind of guy. Like, he's not going to always have, like, he'll have those kind of games. Don't get me wrong. But he's more the guy who's smart and he's going to get you out. Like, he just keeps you from stringing too many hits together.
Right. Well, the key for both of them is you got to jump on them early.
Well, even still, deGrom was just on last night.
He was. But, I mean, Nola was too.
I'm saying Nola was on too. I mean, like you said, 1 hour just, that was it. That was the difference between the two. I mean, like, when it got down to, like, the 8th and 9th, innings, you were silenced. It was all, it like I said, it's Red October to me because every pitch mattered, every at bat mattered. And, just, like I said, at that very end, Nick Castellanos swinging at the ball, which he should have just let it just roll by. He would have got ball 3 and instead he takes that swing. That's the only.
I just feel like
you can pick at the
game.
I
feel like he's been trying way too hard. Castellanos, I don't know why, but I just feel like he's like maybe he felt like because Harper went out that he has to kind of like I guess be Superman or whatever because he's been hot and cold. Like he'll go like a week and he'll start getting hot and then all of a sudden he kind of took a dive. I mean,
well, look,
it's going to be all right.
Like I said, this baseball team it is really, really good. I mean, I got to give the Mets their due. Even their bullpen, I thought once DeGrom left the game, I said, okay, maybe this is where we could come back and make things happen. And no, they were just continuing.
Yeah, Ty Walker's pretty good, man.
Yeah, they were mowing us down from all
Mr.
sorts-
Crackpot.
Yeah, our boy over the painted lines.
Oh man, my
What's
man.
going on, Dodds?
Hey,
What's going on,
what's up,
Kenneth
Kenny?
Landing? Good
Yeah, what's
morning.
going on,
Take care
Kenny?
of your own business.
Please take care of your own business. And look, they were look. Who would have thought though, being shorthanded two, not one but two, your best home run hitters, this was still going to be a ball game. I mean, this was really a ball game. I mean, like I said, Nola was holding his own yesterday, 8 Ks. He only allowed 4 hits. And like I said, 1 error by JT Remuto and Bryce's side. That was the only really error there where Martel goes from first to third. He was trying to steal second. He also moves to third. But like I said, that was really the difference between. And then and like I said, and I gotta give the Pole Bear his due. He's one, top 10 player in the league. He's top 5 in home runs. He's got, I think he's second in RBIs. He's got 97 RBIs.
Pete Alonso.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a beast.
He's nasty.
I was talking to my brother yesterday, and my brother brought up a good point, man. My brother was like, "Listen," he's like, "Pete Alonso is a beast." He said, "But the Phillies got one too," and he's like, "Don't sleep on Derek Hall." He said, "Derek Hall can become our Pete Alonso."
He could be, but I made this point last night too. I said, I think right now the moment's a bit big for him right now. Like, this is where missing Harper or having to have Gene take a rest that night kind of doesn't pay off for us. And not that anybody else was doing well. I mean, everybody wasn't doing well against deGrom, of course.
I like Stubbs. I would have played Stubbs last night. I really would have, because nothing against JT. He's been swinging a good bat, but Stubbs got good numbers against deGrom. He's one of the rare Phillies in the lineup that have decent numbers against deGrom.
Or you at least very much put JT at the DH spot.
At the DH spot, yeah. If you want to keep them both in the lineup.
Giving Derek Hall a break, like putting him against guys, like think about it, a rookie who's only been here since July,
and he's going up against two in
the last 4 games. You have Altera, you've had Scherzer, and you've had deGrom.
Oh, and you don't forget the other kid they lost, the kid that beat the Phillies on
Marlins.
Yeah, the kid from the Marlins.
Yeah.
I was listening to the game. I forget his name.
Yeah, I forget his name too.
Yeah, but he was dominant too. So. But I mean, if you take a look at it, I mean, I think an overall picture. I mean, if Wheeler goes out there and does his job today, I think the Phillies got. We take 2 out of 3 from there. It's going to send a momentum. And I said,
what's that called? A series win. And
it's a series of win.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If anybody had ideals that this team was going to go on some run where they don't lose another game between now and October 1st, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, of course. I mean, if you take a look at it, it really does kind of favor the Phillies coming up, because I think the Mets still have a couple West Coast.
They have one of the
tougher schedules.
They do, but I think they got to go to the coast again too. I don't think they play the Dodgers, but I think there's a Padres series in there, maybe a Giants.
Well, here, I'll give you real quick. You got the Braves coming up, and then of course against us again. Then they have a 2-game series against the Yankees.
Oh, there you go.
They're playing the Rockies at home, not a big deal. Then they have the Dodgers at home, Nationals, Pirates. They have a little bit of.
And the way the Dodgers are playing too. I mean, I think
they don't match up well with the Dodgers. Dodgers kind of spank their ass.
So here's the thing: is looking at this right now, they have a kind of an upcoming point where they're playing some low-level teams after the Dodgers. I mean, if you include the Rockies before the Dodgers, they got the Nats, the Pirates, the Marlins again, the Cubs again, the Pirates again, the Brewers.
So they got a bunch of layoffs.
Yeah, the Brewers are they gave up.
The A's.
Yeah, so
and then it's the Braves. They end the season against the Nats. Which, if they want to end against any team, that's the team.
Who the Phillies in the season with? We in the season with the Marlins, right?
The Marlins.
I'll tell you right.
I think it's the Marlins. I don't think it's the Braves. I hope not. Anyway,
no, I think we have 7 games against the Braves left. I think something like that.
Yeah. Yes, 7 games because they're 6-6 against the Braves.
So after the Mets series,
I know they got a home and home with Cincy.
Well, so it's Mets away, Cincy away, Mets home, Cincy home,
and then the Pirates.
They play the Pirates again. Then they have the Diamondbacks, the Giants, the Fish, the Nats again, the Fish again, the Braves.
So it becomes a layoff.
Well, towards the mid to end of September, you got the Braves and Toronto. The Braves again.
Oh, Toronto's got to come here. That's a season. That's a series they got to sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-game.
Oh, it's only a 2-gamer. Well, we kind of owe them anyway, right? Because like when we had to go there,
we said that against the Rangers too, and that didn't pan out very well.
No.
you
just gotta take
talk
one
about
in front
like
of you.
talk about is that not 4 games that like really
So
come back?
to be honest here, our end of the season is a little harder than I think theirs is at this point because 2 games against the Blue Jays,
and then
4 games against the Braves. Then they have 3 games against
the Giants,
the Cubs, the Nats. We end off with 3 games against Houston.
We play Houston?
Mm-hmm. Last 3 games of the season, October 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
I didn't even know we played Houston this year.
Well, I know that. Yeah, because I think the
well, yes, right. Yeah, we played the West.
Yeah.
So is that Houston game here or is that in Houston?
That is in Houston. The last home game is actually.
Well, they may have stuff already wrapped up by then.
Look who's checked in from.
Dave, go away with that stuff.
Dave passing up.
I love Dave, but Dave, go.
Morning.
The Brewers are only one game out, dude. They sold half their team, dude. They're not going to be here.
The last 10 games of the season are away. The last home game for the Phillies are against the Braves. 4-game series, September 25th is the last home game for the Phillies.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So they're basically doing Chicago.
Like leading up to that last 10 games, and you got the Braves and you got Toronto and Chicago. So the last 10 games before that, like I said, this is no walk in the park. And one thing I said I like about this team is that I don't think they're taking any team like this. They're not looking past the schedule, not looking past the Nats. I like that. You saw that when they beat up on the Nats. Like they didn't just enjoy beating up on them. They said we can't let them sneak one away. We've given away too many games. A la that Mets game where we were down up 7-1 and blew it.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of
Rangers series, the Cubs series.
Yeah,
those kind of like not winning 1 or 2 games in any of those series are haunting us now. If you think about it,
right?
It is.
And then, like I said, this is where the Phillies are at their best. And don't forget, at some point in time, and very shortly, we're going to be getting
Harper back. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're gonna get your big piece back, but. My only issue with this is like Harper was on such a tear before he got hurt. Like, I think it's just going to be kind of hard for him to get back. Like, it's going to take him probably a few teams. Most of these teams won't do it, but the Yankees in a slump do a safety squeeze in top of the ninth, end up winning. Teams like the Phillies could benefit.
Oh man,
yeah, Walter, you're right there, man. You're right there, and
yeah, I totally agree. Walter, like I said, this Phillies ball team, like I said, they're paying dividends. And like I said, I didn't think, this is the matchup I want to see because this tells me right here. I know, like I said, I know people think I'm crazy, and I know a lot of people think right.
No, you are. You're nuts.
Yeah. Well, I like, but anyway, a lot of people like to say, I'm getting myself in a wet T-shirt contest and all that crazy stuff. But I really do believe this team is a contender now. Everything is coming back to 2008. They're competing with the Mets for the division to me because I think the Braves are starting to fall off little by little. I just think that this Phillies baseball team is legit now, and I know
people don't though. I mean, Dave Yarnell is a good person to look at that. Like he always comes back with something.
Yeah, like he's the Debbie Downer.
Yeah, I called him Davey Downer last
Davey
night.
Downer. Yeah,
he's all shriveled up.
But here's my thing is. And here's my thing: is I actually
what time is it?
Yeah, right.
Already.
Yeah.
Already.
I said but I gave him his thing. I said I can understand why people aren't ready to.
Yeah, because they've collapsed the last few years.
Also, it's been 10 years.
It's been
okay, but hold on. But listen, like this is where you got to kind of pump the brakes with this whole. It's been 11. Listen. It's not like they didn't go out and spend money. They're not the Pirates.
No.
Like the Pirates ain't made the playoffs in like what, 15 years? 20 years? Okay. Yeah. They're not the Phillies ain't the Pirates.
No. We're like the second team to not make the playoffs.
Right, exactly. So I mean
and in the last 2 years, you gotta think 1 year, I think 2 years ago we fell short to the Braves. Last year we fell short to the Mets.
Right.
I wouldn't call that falling short. We fell apart.
Yeah.
In the 2020 shortened season, we had to win one of our last 4 games. Couldn't do that.
Right.
The pressure got them.
Yeah. We had a September fall apart last year where we played the Mets at the end of August last year. Swept the Mets. Remember that. Everybody was tooting their horns. Then they fell apart and were losing against bad teams. I bought that September package. It was like $50. You got every home game.
Oh yeah,
September.
I remember that. Yeah,
I bought that. I went to half of them, gave the other half to my kids. Had great time and all that. But I sat there and watched them fall apart, and that's why I can understand guys like Dave who are waiting for the other shoe to drop. But also to combat a guy like Dave, I said last night, I said, Dave, I have a checkbox, a grocery list of things I need this team to do to feel more comfortable. So number one, I said they have to beat bad teams. Check.
Yeah,
we can all check that box. They're beating bad teams. They have to not falter against division rivals like they have had. Now, the Nationals made it real easy for teams this year, so check that box with the Nats. They're beating the Marlins. They're
the team that's owned us.
Yeah, for many years.
And I'll tell you what, and they're holding their own against the Braves. Like I said, I think if you look at the Phillies, and I've been saying this, over the last few weeks, like outside the division, dude, the Phillies have held their own against the top teams in this, in the top teams of this and of the NL. You know what I mean? The big dog, the John checking in, Joey Sullivan.
But my point is there is a checkbox. And I keep checking so far. Like last night, Pat, you said it. Okay, here it comes. The Nola collapse. Nola here, and I pointed this out. How I think it was at Cliffley. I'm trying to remember. It was Cliffley or Roy Halladay when they were here. There was their stat is they gave up more runs in the first inning than every other inning combined. Like that was just sometimes they do. Like
that was Cliff Lee.
Cliff Lee. Like every batter needs time to get their timing down against this pitcher. Even pitchers have to get their groove going. But when he was grooving last night, he could have went 9. I think he had it in him to go 9.
I think he did too.
And here goes one. I noticed too. And here goes a question I got to get into though. Like I said, you said they've checked everything. Yes, Joe.
Don't even read it.
Yes.
Just let it be seen.
That is the man of the Monday nights. Check them at 6 p.m. But listen, like you say, they check off all the boxes. But here goes the one concerning part: are you guys really ready to make some adjustments with Rhys Hoskins right now? The way he's
you know what? I would literally drop him in the lineup, and I would take Segura and move him up to number 2.
Yeah. Well, Segura was off last night because he was supposed to be. Right. Apparently, they're like, let him do 3 games, day off, 4 games, day off. So,
well, guess what? Yeah. Like, I would go to Segura and say, listen, dude, you had it 6 weeks off. Like, we need you to play.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't want to play the field, we'll put you in at DH. We need your bat in the lineup. Like,
you're absolutely right.
You got to keep him. You got to keep your starting 9 now.
I think Schwarber's in today, right?
Would you?
Is he back? I mean, is his calf feeling better?
They said he was actually. I mean, he pinched hit last night. They said they probably was good enough for him to play last night, but they just didn't want to push it.
I don't know. For defensive purposes, I wouldn't mind seeing Schwarber be DH today.
Well, I remember the whole point was before we had the injury with Rice. That was supposed to be him and Nick pretty much going back and forth as DH.
Right.
Because if he was healthy enough, he liked playing defense. I mean, Harper made no bones about it.
Yeah.
And for all when he came here, you're just gonna have to deal with bad defense out in right field.
Yeah, he's been pretty stellar.
Since he got here, I've not seen 1 ounce of bad defense.
I'll tell you what, the Padres, they've been kind of winning along here. I think they did. Did they overjump the Phillies yet or no? I know they were neck and neck.
I think it's they're like 0.001 behind us. It's
okay, I know we're still got the second spot. I know, but I don't see that team. I'm waiting. That's another team I think is going to fall off the ledge real shortly because they got a ton of games left against the Dodgers. A ton.
We're
well, that's good.
We're a half a game
up.
So we're 0.558 and they're 0.552.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're 63 and 50 and they're 64 and 52. So
right.
You're right. And like I said, the Mets are though.
I still believe, honestly, Pat, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. But I still believe that we can catch the Braves for that first wild card spot. It's not out of the question. They're 3 games up on us in that first wild card? If I was looking right, I believe they're only 3 games up.
Yeah, Padres lost to the Nats, he said. I guess that's Giants.
Yeah. The Nats.
Or Nats. Wait, the Nats. Oh, those Nats.
Yeah, they lost to the Nats last night.
I thought he misspelled Giants because he misspelled Padres. Then I'm like, oh, okay, Nats. Okay, I get it. Like the bug. I got it. Sorry, I'm slow. It's morning.
Yes. Look. But no.
And don't forget, just to remind everybody, in 10 minutes, you're going to have John Barchard calling in from Bell and the Birdmen. I don't know if we said that earlier.
Yeah,
we're going to join in, man. That's my Big Ten brother in right there.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. But look, the Mets are 16-5 coming out of this, the shoot. I mean, like I said, we got to give them their due. But like I said, to me,
September's coming.
Back in spring, we had no chance of this happening. We would
No. You said they didn't have no chance of this. Don't lump me in with that. Do not lump me in with that because I was the one sitting here going, "You pump your brakes. It's way too early."
Yes, you did. Yeah, I know.
So no, don't lump me in with that. Oh, we didn't have a chance. That was you, my friend, not me. I already told you.
I kind of kept liking him. Like, look at the Nats. When they won the World Series, they were terrible.
Yeah,
the first half.
Dude, just look at the Braves last year.
The Braves weren't great either.
The Braves last year had the same. If you go on like any betting sites, like right now the odds, the Phillies odds are the same as the Braves were last year, 55-1 to win the World Series.
Yeah, I take that right now.
Dude, listen.
Right now.
I just threw $20 on them to win the NL. They win the NL, it's 35-1,
which I think is like.
That is not that hard. Like, listen, if they don't have to play the Mets to get to the World Series, I think the Phillies can hang with anybody else. It's just we got to close the gap on the Mets, and I think the way they do that is today.
But all right, let me ask you guys this question: do you feel does that confidence grow if they win today and take the series against them?
Yes.
Because here's my thing is. Not that they just win a series against the Mets, because let's be honest, if you look at all the teams that are above 500 that we played, the only team we don't have a winning record against is the Mets. I don't think there's any way we can take the series now. I think the best we can do is 9-10.
The best we even if we sweep out, it'd be 9-10. So I would take 8-11 because to me that shows you how far the Phillies closed that gap. Because early on in the season, if you're looking at it, they were up 9. They already had 9 wins. So if you were telling me that they already had 9 out of the first 12, and they only got to 11, that means you closed the gap on them. And plus, too, it sends a message to the Mets, too, that, hey, look, this isn't the same Phillies team you played earlier in the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Phillies have gotten better.
And real quick, Pat, why don't we take care of a little business here?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's take care of my man, Dave Cherry. Guys, if you have any working compensation, medical vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law, please hit up my man, Dave Cherry, 610-565-0300. Please give him a call for all those kind of needs. He's a good dude, man. And plus, in a little bit, we'll be talking to our man, John Barchard, because he'll be on this bus trip as well as my man, Mike here. Guys, look, Bird's bus trip down to D.C., September 25th, 2022. Look, only $325. You might be saying to yourself, well, that's a lot of cash. But a lot of you guys know, just to get through the doors at the link, that's a lot of scroll. But here, you get your low-level ticket, you get a bus, you get food, you get drink, and you get entertainment. Like I said, as the gobbler knows, food, this is not your typical burgers and hot dogs. Here is some filet mignon getting thrown on this bad boy. So, guys, give this trip, go to Philly Sports Trip. Link in there. Tell them that Edge of Philly Sports sent you.
And don't forget, you can spend $300 just parking and buying a half-decent ticket at the link.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's before you get
right
food, drink, or a bus trip on top of it all.
Al, you and I and Mike, we were just at the practice. I mean, there was some last scroll just getting thrown around. I just had a practice.
A $10 ticket turned into a couple $100 night. Very
yeah,
you know?
That's what I said. Like, I felt bad. Like, Pat got this little slice of pizza. And he was like, I said, how much you pay for that? He's like, $15. I was like, sucker.
Yeah.
Well, they saw you coming.
Yeah.
And also if at Dolan's Bar, we're at 2040 Sellers Avenue, right in Ridley Park. And this is
my man, David Feldman.
Yeah, there is. This is one of the many things you can catch over at Dolan's Bar. Yeah, Gary Cobb, David Feldman. Yes, they have a player versus player fighting competition. It's Gary Cobb versus Hollis Thomas. It is one of the many crazy things
that Feldman is probably doing. I know Damon very well.
Yes.
Very good dude.
Yes. And Dolan's is all evolved. And like I said, they got some great food coming from Wolf Superior Sandwiches as well. We'll be having that. I'll be actually having you guys help me film a commercial with them in the next coming weeks. But yeah, so that's one of the many, many things that you can get at Dolan's Bar.
Pat's, you better just tell them people when they bring the sandwiches over, just bring extras because Pat's going to screw up on purpose just so he can keep eating.
I better do this one more time just in case.
Yes,
I can see that now.
I'm
all the weight that I'm losing. Yeah, I know he's going to be gaining.
Yeah. So, guys, like I said, so Mike, here we go. That finishes out this Philly conversation. We got Wheeler versus Chris. We got Wheeler on the mound versus Chris Passy. What do you have?
Passy's a good pitcher. He really is, but I think Wheeler should top him today. And I think Zach kind of owes them too, because the last time he did face them, he didn't really get a good performance in. And Zach's been kind of building and building. So I'm looking forward. I think Zach's going to get like a 10K game today. I
Well,
can really.
Zach's coming in, today with 11. He's 11-5 with 2.63 ERA.
And
Yeah, the
remember,
Phillies just got a hit for him.
and that 2.6. Remember, there was a couple of games he got banged up in because
Yeah.
he didn't have the greatest of games. But even when even Wheeler's mediocre games better than most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like that, this was a great signing by the Phillies. That's one thing I can say.
People were so mad too when that happened.
I loved it. I was
Yeah.
like, "What? They got him? Nice."
Yeah, and Chris Bassett here is 14th in strikeouts. So
He's a good pitcher, man. He is.
He's a decent,
But he also has a problem though
Mets have
too.
a good pitching.
They do.
core.
They got
Yeah.
right.
But here's the thing, like with him, and I watched the kind of like a scouting report from him on SNY. Like one of their little shorts or whatever on YouTube. I was watching it, and they said if the Phillies can get to him, he does tend to throw this, like he tends to get wild.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be
Which we were
patient.
hoping from Diaz last night.
Yeah, I know, dude. I don't know. Like we used to get to him, but
You're not going to get him every time.
no.
But
But I guarantee if he comes here when like next weekend, that series,
Yeah.
that's probably like you'll see him blow a save or two next
He
weekend.
spiked 2 into the ground. I'm like, he spikes 1 more, and he's on 3rd. This game's tied at best.
You mentioned about getting to Chris Bassett early. So if I'm doing the lineup today, I know it's going to sound crazy, but I would go Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, and then Castellanos.
No.
1, 2, 3.
If Schwarber's
No.
playing, where do you put it then?
No.
Say Schwarber's playing.
Schwarber's. I think I've been saying you got to drop Schwarber in the lineup. I do like.
I put Schwarber in cleanup.
I would leave Bryson Stott where he's at.
Where was he batting first?
You want to play lead off?
He's the only one hitting anybody. He only want to put up a hit, like one
Right.
of the few hits against.
So that's what I'm saying. I was just ready to say that. I was ready to say that. I was ready to say
He
that.
was
Like
0-4 last night, though.
No, he
wasn't.
He was the only one that
got a hit.
Get a hit last night.
Like, yeah.
Oh, so who did I see go 0-4?
Oh,
everybody else?
well, no. Reese had a hit last night. Reese had a hit last night.
Did have it.
So I would do Bryson Stott. I would do Stott, Segura. Then your third would be Schwarber. I dropped Schwarber down to 3. Have Castellanos batting 4th.
The only ones to get a hit last night were Bryson Stott, Reese Hoskins, and Nick.
And Castellanos.
That's it. That is it.
So my starting lineup literally or my batting order would be Stott, Segura, drop Schwarber down to 3. Then you have Castellanos 4, JT 5, bring Reese up at 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you gonna have Bohm all the way down there though?
Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. I would bring Bohm up, drop Reese down. I would drop Reese down to like 6.
I would Bohm at 3 and Reese at.
You put Bohm at 3 and then drop Schwarber down to 6.
All right, if Schwarber's playing, I would leave Stott.
I'm not putting Schwarber at cleanup. He swings and misses too much.
Were you leaving Hoskins at 2?
No, I would drop Hoskins in the lineup. I feel you need to drop Reese.
Yeah.
I think he would benefit more at the bottom of the lineup. Having him at the top of the lineup right now, he's kind of too inconsistent. He's like hot, then he's cold. Like he needs to get more consistent, and I feel he could get consistency by dropping him in the lineup. You know what I mean? Like if anybody I feel comfortable with putting at 4 right now, the bat would be JT Realmuto. He makes contact.
Yeah,
he's very. You can just see he's like when he comes. I felt at times when he went to the plate, even before Harbor, he just seemed like hesitant. Like I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
How can I work my way up not getting struck out here? Like that's what I was looking at. I didn't see a guy like I'm going to come up and hit the pitch.
Now he's coming up.
Yeah.
Now he's coming up. He's like you could just see it in his body language that he's embracing it. So
Stott in the 4 hole.
my man Bob Hart. Bobbert,
what's up, buddy?
I like Stott in the 4 hole.
Nah, I'm not putting Stott in the 4
him
hole.
up.
Just because he's hitting well doesn't mean you move him automatically to the 4 hole. It means he is a good leadoff guy. Here we go.
All right. Well, listen. Look, we've had all of our time talking Phillies, but it's time to switch over and talk some Eagles Birds. And the man to do that with is my good buddy John Barchard. John, how you doing this morning, buddy?
It is a beautiful Sunday morning here, walking around the daughter, have some coffee, and I just love when 3 Phillies fans try and pump themselves up, and it's not even the middle of August yet, and Aaron Nola just gave his last gasp of like his best performance you ever see in August. So I hope all the Phillies fans enjoyed that. And then we'll see you at the bottom, everybody.
Listen. I already got a plan for Nola and for September and October. We got to put him in a room with a tan light, John.
Yeah. Keep him,
We got to put him in there. We got to
I
keep
like
him
it.
baked. We got to incubate him before he goes out to the mound.
it's like a Wawa sizzler. You got to keep him in the heater.
Yes, because if not, it's going to turn out ugly. But John, listen, what we saw Friday night, we saw Jalen Hurts go 6 for 6. What's your take on Jalen Hurts? What did you see?
My take was Nick Sirianni is an idiot, and unless Jalen Hurts requested that he is out there for that series, I never want to see that again. Like, it was great. Listen, guys, we've been through so many preseason hype stuff before in our lives. I'm so guilty of Sam Bradford and the perfect passes and all that. Like, that, what we saw means nothing. Nothing. Like, in terms of performance or whatever, nothing. But in terms of how it made me feel, in like, man, the communication, the flow, the understanding where everybody's supposed to be, honestly, on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be a really good year again for Jalen. Like, they finally built an offense around him, and it seems like he understands where everybody's supposed to be too. I'm excited, guys.
Hey, John,
I'm excited.
I just wanted to get your opinion, man. What did you think of beef jerky there, Cam Jurgensen? What did you think of how he played?
Outstanding. Like, didn't it seem seamless to you guys too?
Yeah,
I
would have thought Kelsey was in there without knowing. Like, watching, really.
Yeah, he is. We described it on the pod, and Vince actually, I think, is just like, yeah, no wonder Jason Kelsey kind of rubbed his thumb and called him Mufasa and all that other stuff. And he's like, yeah, that dude right there can replace me. So, if I highly recommend, if you're not following him already, Brandon Thorne NFL at Brandon Thorne NFL. Probably one of the only guys I trust in terms of non-player O-line evaluation, and he's got some great clips of him this morning going over that exact same thing. So the first 2 picks off the board, really impressive on Friday night.
Oh my God, Jordan Davis. Oh, we saw him at the open practice, and we were like, oh my God. And then I watched the Jets triple team him on 3 different plays.
Yeah, because that was the hilarious part. It was just like, Herbig just got put on his butt, and then like, maybe we'll double team him, and then like you were just saying, that 4th or 5th rep to see 3 really dark green jerseys around him made me so happy. So,
Yes, and to me, when I saw what Jalen Hurts is, back to him, I just saw when he got hit with that late shot, right off the gate. You saw Jordan Mailata take the realms of, getting in the defensive player's face. I mean, you saw Nick Sirianni from the other side. He was coming out screaming at the Jets. I mean, this guy, whether people want to believe him or not, he's really they really believe, the Eagles believe that he's going to be their leader. And I think they're going to go far because, of his leadership.
Yeah. And Jordan is Jason Peters on the inside in terms of, don't fuck with me.
Right.
And on the outside, he is bright, sunny sunshine. And that switch goes really quick, which I think is even like why we admire Jordan and why we'll fall in love with him even more and more. Yeah, like he is. I got a chance to see him at CIL for the Eagles autism event and all that stuff, and like going from pounding beers to wanting to kill a guy that I think is going to be bagging groceries in a couple of weeks over the Jets. That's exactly what you want to see. And then for Jalen to follow that up and say, pandering right to us, and I'm buying right into it. That's Philly, and essentially saying the same thing. That's how we do it here, So when I look at those things, guys, I think that's the most important part of this preseason: the gelling, the chemistry, the character, all that stuff. And here is my question to you guys, because I know you guys like the old school things too. I was talking to Vince Quinn, and Nick Sirianni does kind of remind me, at least in a character sense and as a coaching style sense, reminds me a lot of Dick Vermeil, because he just got entered into the Hall of Fame. We were doing a ton of research on him. You guys feel that way? Like emotionally and characterly, I feel a lot of Dick Vermeil here. You guys feel that way?
Yes. I'm bought into Nick Sirianni. Like I said, I know and Vinny Quinn, we all joked around about the sunflower seeds and all that stuff. But after that, man, I mean, I'm all bought into Nick Sirianni.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, John, yeah, I can definitely see your comparison to that. But I'm still a little reserved on Sirianni yet. I still want to see just a little bit more from him, but I can definitely see your comparison to Coach, as we call him here.
And I want to make it clear, I'm still on a very much like snap by snap basis with what is happening on the field in terms of Nick Sirianni. I have a long way to go in terms of that. Shane Steichen the same thing. Like,
yeah,
I don't really know yet. But in terms of character and like locker room building and trust and all that, it's great and all. It's a good floor to have. If you win and continue to win with this feeling in that locker room, that will help you in the end. Doesn't mean anything if you don't, though. So like,
Right.
it's great, but I do think this is, and to your point, Pat, the flower power stuff, right? Like, we all rolled our eyes, and that reminded me of, hearing people back in the day compare Dick Vermeil to this California guy who's, way too optimistic. And then he's a total hard ass when it comes to training camp and everybody else. And then, between Jordan Mailata going out there and Nick Sirianni wanting to start a fight with the
Robert Saleh, that was
with
great.
with a linebacker too. It's just like, I totally feel that. So I hope he's good at football, just like a lot of people have said probably about Jalen Hurts too.
John, did you get a chance to watch our third round pick? I kind of saw some things with him basically just doing what he did at Georgia. He was just sliding right off of Jordan Davis and was just making some great plays. How do you think Nakobe Dean looked in his first actions?
Yeah, again, like pretty damn good debut for him as well, and took the words right out of my mouth because that rep that I think was going around where that in particular, our old friend Nate Herbig is trying to take on Jordan Davis, and Jordan Davis sticks him into the tight end that's trying to pull to the running back that's trying to make a hole, and Nakobe Dean wastes no time, looks at the tight end that's coming in to block, blows him up, and two guys that did not touch a running back somehow tackled the running back. That is crazy to me. That is something I don't think we've experienced in Philly in a long time. A guy that just is full instincts. He's got that guy. I'm going to go blow you up, and I don't care what happens next because my action is going to disrupt whatever you were planning on doing. And I don't know how Nakobe is going to fit into the rotation. Like, if TJ is really doing as well as everyone says, and we kind of saw that a little bit, Kaiser White, I'm going to have to eat my words on him probably, as, he's looking every bit of the part around here as well. Like, going from no linebacker depth to having, like, maybe Nakobe Dean is your second or third most important linebacker in this year would be amazing. And I think there's a lot of potential there. I'm still hesitant to see, like, how his body kind of holds up in the NFL. It doesn't look like it matters after that first tackle, but the other thing I was kind of exploring too is just Nakobe Dean's here. You have Jordan Davis. You have all these very kind of unique players set up for a 3-4, and now obviously everybody knows they're kind of leaning that way. Vic Fangio's been hanging out at training camp a lot. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Gannon is not going to be here next year, so I have started to think with all the things that are happening around that and the Chicago Bears and Roquan Smith's relationship deteriorating rapidly. And shout out to him for not having an agent, by the way, and just like doing his own work. I think it's awesome and hilarious all at the same time. Right. But if Vic Fangio's here next year and Roquan Smith is available now, and Roquan Smith got drafted by Vic Fangio or was a part of that and then got him the head coaching job with the Broncos. So if they're switching over to this, Jonathan Gannon is building the architect of it, and the guy that basically built the modern day 3-4 is hanging around Howie Roseman. Call me crazy. I think we should start investing in linebackers again. So
I would do that trade in a heartbeat. I would bring Roquan in a heartbeat because that's who they say Dean is a model of, right? Al?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it has taken a long time for this Eagles team, and I'm talking decades, for them to invest anything
In a linebacker.
in a linebacker. And, you know, I think many of us, if not all of us, talking right now, have pounded our chest. And I've been, unlike our boy Matty B, I've always been not on the Howie train for many years, but I haven't bought a ticket yet. I'm standing in line though to buy the ticket because right now in the last couple of years he has shown me in the offseason the fact that he's taken stock and done things that we've asked him to do, that goes far for me. So, John, real quick, because something that we all have in common here at EOP and with you guys at Bell and the Birdmen, we'll be on that Philly bus trip to DC with Philly Sports Trip, and that's the one good thing. That's the one good thing about these preseason games is we get a taste of the things that we're going to be seeing. And what are you just excited to see come September 25th in Washington?
1,000 people doing the Foles chant the moment that piece of crap comes out of the tunnel. I can't wait, man. Like, I think we have taken this so lightly, and maybe I'm just way far gone off the reservation here, but like, don't we owe Carson one good one? To me, we have not really looked at this now that we've gotten the full scope. And like, you know, the Foles thing is long gone, but I believe that man costed us the chance to go back to a second Super Bowl.
Wow.
And because look at what happened. Like, he's a prima donna, and he is he is grabbing at straws now. The fact that the Washington Commanders PR had to come out and defend a local reporter asking regular questions about how he felt. This is his last shot, basically, to become a starter. And he asked that question. And the PR had to come out and defend him once again. I am so tired of this man getting coddled. Like, what on earth? Why does he still have a job? Why he's the difference between Nick Foles not hanging out until Jalen Hurts gets here or whatever their plan was. Like, it's just they gave him everything, and it cost us another chance at a Super Bowl. I am still mad at that. So the fact that he's now a rival and hanging out there is part of the reason why we want 1,000 fans to be with us. And Philly, Devereux, Fourth and John, who am I missing? Philly Sports Guy, Hollis Thomas. Like, just we want to make this the last closure. This is closure for me. So when Vince over at Philly Sports Trips, we were doing this, it was the perfect opportunity to do it. But honestly, don't you guys think we owe him at least one?
Yeah.
Or am I just
No. I mean, and you're right. I agree with everything you're saying. I believe that this is his last go around to being a star before he gets put to the bench. Because like, and to me, like, I actually had, the Commanders being somewhat of a sleeper. I just think that they feel that he can have that, this is one last shot to expose that he can be that 2017 quarterback that he once was, where he was making passes and all that stuff. But like you said, he might be that prima donna in the locker room where they don't want to put up with it anymore. And this is the problems that he was causing with, the Colts. And, he had a pretty decent wideout core with the Colts. He just couldn't get anything done with over there. And now he's going to be here. He's going to be one of our rivals. And like I said, it would be nice to, thump him, once. That's on prior if you don't get hurt then.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. I mean, yeah, he may be there. I mean, it would probably be poetic justice that you have all these Bird fans going down there, which, by the way, John, I will be down there as well. I'm also going to Detroit, too. So if you're in Detroit, I definitely will be looking for you. I'm going there.
The Bell and the Birdmen will be traveling to every single away game this year. So let us know if you're coming. We would love to hang out.
Oh, most definitely. Nice. Yeah, I will definitely be in the Motor City for week one.
He may or may not get mugged. It's like 50-50, right?
Yeah, it's like 50-50. It all depends on what I'm wearing.
If I can entice you, my plan is to meet up with Hollis Thomas and one of the Kings of Detroit, World of Isaac. You can follow him on Twitter. He has this thing called Saturday instead of Saturday. And there's an establishment in the Midwest called Culver's, which I think every East Coaster needs to taste because it kicks In-N-Out's ass, and they use fresh beef. So I'm going to sit in a Culver's on Saturday with him and those two and just see if I can eat everything on the menu. So,
well, John,
it'll be fun.
John just woke up.
Yes, John, you know how I like to eat. So, listen, brother. It's been appreciated. It's been great to talk to you this morning, John. Like I said, we can't wait to catch you in all the Philly sports trips this year. John, like I said, man, anytime you want to hop on talk bars with us, you're always more than welcome. And anytime you need me to come up there and hook you up with some grub, I can do that too. So John,
Oh man,
go ahead.
I need you to because somebody threw the gauntlet down to us last week and probably made the best ribs I've ever had in 10 years. So I'd like to see what you can bring to the table, Fish.
Well, John,
That's what the food makes to the table with the gobbler carrying.
Yeah. Well, John knows I cook us some eggs and steak, So anyway, man, John, thank you for hopping on with us and have a great rest of your day. And take care of the baby princess.
Will do, man. Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much.
Take it easy, John.
Wow. So
it was good. It was good finally getting to talk with Johnny, man. I haven't talked with him in a while. Although I did wanted to sneak one thing in with him, but I'll shoot it over to him. He's a Big Ten guy. I'm a Big Ten guy.
Yes.
So with Iowa, we went back and forth all last year with Iowa and Penn State. So, but yeah,
I remember that game.
Yeah, I remember it too, and we got hosed in that one too.
Big PSU fan here as well.
Same here.
Our boy Chet he is, as well as Joey Sheeran. He's a huge Penn State fan. Yes. My whole family went to Penn State. Like that was what we did.
Yeah, so, my family too. I got alums too. But I told him, I said, you would never experience anything greater than a whiteout.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
the whiteout is just amazing.
I went to a Penn State game right before the pandemic, the year before the pandemic. And I didn't go to the white. I was planning on going, but first part, getting tickets to that is not easy. I mean, you have to either be a student or know somebody, or an alumni.
You got to know somebody.
You have to know somebody in the know. It's rocking. It's deafening. It's rocking. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's 40,000 more than you'll see at the link.
Wow.
Yeah, they hold 110,000.
Yeah. So put that in. Imagine that filled to the brim.
And it's all like if it's a whiteout.
The one thing that game did make me feel though at the end was old, because I'm looking around at these college students. I'm like, I had Penn State tickets when I was in college. I went there all the time, but I'm sitting there going,
I'm old enough to be his dad, her dad.
Yeah,
you
feel like that all got at the club. You know
some
what I mean?
Some like drunk girls walking by. I'm like, well enough to be your dad, but God damn.
But like. Again, it was nice to talk to John Barchard, and his tag team partner will be on the Phillies squad tomorrow night.
Yeah, Vinny Quinn, that'll be good with them guys.
Yep.
Yeah, but look, again, this Eagles team, I was very impressed with what I saw from Jalen Hurts. Like I said, I know it was only one drive, but, you and I talked about this before, about his mechanics, and I get it. He made that one play action pass right from the gun. And he made, he finds Watkins down there. I think it was like a 15, 20-yard pass. And then it was, a lot of dinks and dunks. But still, I mean, and then you had that, the end zone cross route with Goddard, and he takes it into the end zone. I mean, I was very impressed with it, just seeing his footwork, him just executing the plays.
Yeah, it looked, like I said, I watched it, and that's what you were looking for. You were looking to see how he, how he progressed. And I'll tell you what, to me, he looks like a guy who's more comfortable with his offense.
Yeah.
Now around him, because he was doing different reads. Like when we were at the practice, did I not? I was like, dude, what's up with him? He's just looking one way and then running. And I think that was a lot of sham and show too.
Right.
But when you watched him in the game, he was making crisp decisions. Like he knew where he was going with the ball, and he was looking. You could see him looking, and he was accurate. Like Chris was saying, oh, there's our boy.
There's our man Paul Spencer
from Out of the Box.
You can check him out every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. and every Wednesday night at 9
Go
p.m.
Irish, PSU.
Football.
Yo, come on, Paul, with that. Come on, Paul, with that. You and those Golden Domers.
I love the Irish love that we get around here.
Yes, yes.
It's mainly in Delco, where I've grown up, in parts of South Philly and all that. It's like, well, I'm Irish. I have to like them. Like, no, you don't.
No, listen,
Me
and my brother were the only Penn State guys. And my mom's side of the family, they're all Golden Domers. We should just laugh all the time.
Now, here's the funny thing. So I grew up right here in the 19018 here in Delco. And I worked with, and my whole family worked with O'Leary's Funeral Home right around the corner, who are huge Irish fans. I'm just talking Notre. They. That's all. I walked in one day with a Penn State jersey on, like just forgetting I was wearing it. I went to go pick up a check, and I'm sitting there going, they're like, you get out, leave that jersey on outside, and then you can come and get your check. But I've been on a few Irish trips with them. I mean, I'm talking 20 bus.
I've
20
never
bus trips.
been
Really?
there. That's a bucket list of
Listen,
mine.
I guess because
Yes.
I'm not like with college football, I can just enjoy a good game. I don't have like with college football, like I love Penn State the most, but if I'm watching I call me a bandwagon, but I love Alabama maybe because their mascot's name is Big Al. That could just be
No, that's
yeah,
why.
yeah,
That's
it
why.
could be it. And they're just perennial winners. Like I want to watch teams like Georgia and Alabama. You know, I want to watch these teams that are like pretty much what we call NFL ready.
I have a college bucket list. Like I've already did the whiteout.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to go to Blacksburg and experience Enter Sandman.
Okay.
You know, if you don't look up Virginia Tech,
Yes.
Enter Sandman,
Yes.
and you'll want to go. Okay, I want to go to Madison, Wisconsin, just to do jump around.
Mhm.
But the very one I want to go to, the very best one that I mean,
Wow,
and I think it's the most heartwarming one, is Iowa. The end of the first quarter,
Yeah.
everybody in the stadium turns around and waves to the kids at Children's Hospital.
Oh, really?
You watch any Iowa game at the end of the first quarter, they literally every fan, the visiting team will come out to the 20-yard line, like they'll come out to the hash marks, and every last one person in that stadium waves to the kids that are in the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And I think that's the coolest.
The Children's Hospital, for those who are not familiar with
It's
it,
up like it's up
it
like
looks you can look directly out of the windows down into the
field.
stadium.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
and I know that's the only reason why I put that number one. Like, but I remember watching the Penn State game last year when they played Wisconsin opening week, and then all of a sudden, Gus Johnson's like, "All right, you know what time it is now," and all of a sudden, Camp Randall starts doing jump around, and I'm like, "Oh, I so got to go there."
Yeah.
Like, just to do it. Like, I mean, the very first one that turned me on though was the one for Virginia Tech. That Enter Sandman, dude, you will see nothing like it. Like, I will show you, dude. Like, you're talking about 80,000 to 90,000 people jumping in unison to Enter Sandman, and it's nuts.
Does the
A guy
Sandman
that
come
used does the Sandman come out? the guy the guy used to work here at EOP, Charlie Bowles. He's an older guy, but that man has been to like every national championship game in the last like 25 or plus 30 years. I think he has a helmet from like almost like the guy has. If you're a college football fan, he pretty much has a college football museum.
Oh, nice.
And he was telling me like one thing I would be on my college football list would be go to Alabama game because I could just imagine them being nuts. Anything in the
Dude,
South,
they're nuts. Yeah, and
anything
listen,
in the
I
South,
went to
Georgia, Mississippi.
Listen, you don't even
Yeah.
go that far. Go to North Carolina. I literally, I saw a Demon Deacons hat, or like a gas station down there. It was a flex fit hat like this. It was a Demon Deacons hat. It was so cool. It was all black, and the Demon Deacon had like glowing eyes. So I was like, dude, I got to get this hat. I got it, dude. I was in near Duke.
Mhm.
You should have saw the looks I was getting
That's-
just from wearing that Demon. Paul said he was there last year
Yeah.
for the Irish. Me and him talk about that, you know, and I want to experience that. But yeah, but just being in North Carolina, I had a Deacon, like I said, Deacon Demas hat, but I was near Duke, and like the Duke and North Carolina people are looking at me like,
oh yeah,
they're like, what's up with the Demon Deacon hat? I was like, I just bought it at a gas station, bro. Relax.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm from Pennsylvania, dude. I ain't from down here.
Well,
I'm like,
Yeah.
I tell them, I'm
it's
like,
no different than a person wearing a. As my favorite is like I went to the Phillies Nationals game last week, and there's a dude wearing a Mets jersey.
why?
Well, at
He
first,
wanted attention.
First part, everybody starts yelling at him, booing at him, which is expected. But then he turns around and like points at the name, and what's it say? Wheeler. Look, what's my Wheeler jersey? I'm like, get a new one, bro. I don't care if it says the entire.
There's a
team
Modell's
name.
right down the road.
Like there's a guy wearing a Cubs jersey that said Schwarber on the back. I can let that slide a little bit more, but it's still stupid. Go get a new one. If you're a fan of this guy and he moved, go buy a new goddamn jersey. Especially Phillies jerseys. Just gonna put that out there, guys. They're not that expensive.
No, they're not.
No.
No, I mean I can understand a little bit for a football jersey, but like give me Eagle. I have season tickets to work for the Eagles game, so I go to almost every game.
Lucky you.
And I sit there and I see these guys standing there. I'm like, why is this? I'm an Eagles Vikings game. Okay, why is this Dallas jersey here? And Washington's no better, by the way. Washington fans do the same thing. How many times I've been to a game and there's a guy that sits kind of because we're like right in the end zone, like about couple rows up and a few seats over, who's always there. And I'm like, dude, why are you here? Like, I don't get it. Like, I can understand one game, but I would like if my buddies invited me to a Dallas Giants game and I'm in Dallas or New York, I wouldn't wear any of the colors.
Now here's
I would go to
listen.
watch.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Going to that Washington trip, my buddy's a Dallas fan.
Yeah,
No,
But he's not one of those.
is he going to wear a jersey though?
I doubt it. I doubt it because, like, number one, like he's knows he's going on an Eagles bus trip. So, like, if he did, I would look at him and be like, "Bro, take that shit off."
Yeah.
Like, I would tell him that before he even got on the bus.
Well, the first part you're just asking because I mean the Washington Dallas rivalry is almost worse than ours. I think
It is worse. That's why. That's what he said to me. He goes, anytime I get the chance to watch Washington get their teeth kicked in, he goes, number one, he goes, I'm doing the podcast. He goes, so one, he goes, it's kind of supporting you. He's like, two, he's like, you're my boy. He goes, we get to hang out for the day. We get to go to a game.
Oh,
he's
so
like, I don't care. He's like,
he's like Philly sports trips. So you don't have to
Yeah.
you don't have any stake in the game and just have fun.
Yeah,
That's
that's what he said. He's like, dude, he's like, we get to hang out together. He's like, we get to go down there and watch a game. He goes, I hate Washington just as much as I don't like. He goes, I'd rather see the Eagles kick Washington's butt. You know,
And the one thing I want to point out too is for Philly sports trips, not just them in general, but for you, like you said, you're going to Detroit. You're going on your own. You planned this a long time ago.
yeah.
John's going. Barchard's going with Philly sports trips. I think every time, like he's with them. You don't have to buy the full trip.
Right. I know you can pay for the.
You can just get the tailgate. You can get a couple tailgates. Like you can get like kind of a la carte. Like I just need a ticket and a tailgate. I just need whatever. They have those options. So if you just want to go to the tailgate and probably be very inexpensive, that's an option for you.
I was actually me and my buddies. I'm actually going to talk to them see if they want to do that.
Yeah, I saw the Philly sports trips there. They were down at the Union game yesterday. But like you were talking about, you guys were talking about like you were just saying you'll go to a game, you'll see you'll go to like a Giants and Cowboys and someone douche nozzle has his Eagles gear game on. Like I've been in something like a lot worse. I've been to a Phillies and Marlins game, and out of nowhere, there's some douche nozzle that got an Empton Oilers jersey, and I'm like, why? Like the Flyers didn't play them prior or nothing. I'm like why? I'm looking around, and
some people just do things.
And I had to go like on the back, look on their back, see if they got Gretzky. I'm like, okay, you got the legend on. I'm like, but like it was like.
I listen, that's cross sport, a team that means nothing to me at this point. That's the only jersey this guy owns, and he just
threw it on.
Hey, I like sports too. Like that's what he's saying to me.
Yeah.
Like
I'm trying to fit in.
Yeah, like I'm fitting in.
I've seen some weird stuff.
I do the sports too, guys.
Yeah.
But like I said, before we get out of here, I do want to wrap up. So, what's your big takeaway though from this Eagles Birds team?
Linebackers look really good. Jordan Davis looks unstoppable. Really does. Our defensive line is going to be a problem. I watched the Dallas Cowboys last night.
It made me.
Our lines are going to be just fine.
I went back and watched the YouTube video where it just shows you the game in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I love them. So, but I'm sitting there watching it, and like the one thing I could definitely take away is that this defense that I thought was going to be good is probably going to at this point exceed expectations. Now, I take it the fact that it was the Jets and it was the preseason Jets, so I take that back a little bit, but and try to temper my expectations. But no, that's really good. And like I said, with the 6 for 6 and the quick dink and dunk and getting done and getting in and out from Jalen in the offense, I will still temper my expectations on that because that happens all the time. Like I think John said it. Sammy Bradford had everybody like just gaga for him, and like
that's because he went into Green Bay. Remember, he went into Green Bay and went like 10 for 10 or something like that.
Right. So I'm with you guys. I'm not I'm not running down there. I'm not sticking my junk in a sandbox just yet. But like I said,
you better not be like at a park or something. That's at least 5 years.
Here it is. This is Cesare fam. Great show. Headed to church. Mike, Tyron Smith, heard again. Jason Peters 2.0. I'll tell you what, man. I don't feel bad for the Cowboys, but I kind of do because like they kind of bring it on themselves. Well, like Tyrod Smith should have been cut.
The Cowboys had one of the better O-lines for a very long time. They did not take care of them. That was the problem. Jerry Jones screwed the pooch for that. For any fan, like, listen, I always said, like, I don't know who I feel bad for, Washington fans or Dallas fans, because the two owners are knuckleheads. And they just are they just think they can buy their way. Like, it's kind of like vice versa. You got Dan Snyder, who's the cheapest of cheap. I can tell you for a fact, guys I know in the core media who go like when you go to these games, they have food for the media and stuff like that. He's like, they were They got in trouble for giving him outdated hot dogs. Like that's Dan Snyder at his best right there. But Dallas is the opposite. He tries to like the Ezekiel Elliott contract, okay, the Amari Cooper contract, like all these contracts. Like the Ezekiel Elliott killed Dallas, big time. Like they over
I don't even think he'll be there.
Paying a running back that kind of money at that time was just outlandish.
Right.
And then get Tony Pollard doing better than he was when he was staying healthy. And now you're stuck with that contract because ain't nobody taking that on.
No, nobody at all. So, and to your point, like I checked into Paul and Matt every Wednesday, and like it's amazing how those two are just completely out on Mike McCarthy. Like they are just
Who was ever on Mike McCarthy?
I think
I thought they felt like he was going to come in and bring some of that Green Bay magic.
But what
Was he
magic?
bringing Aaron Rodgers with him? Because that's the only magic
Magic,
Green
right.
Bay
No,
had.
I guess,
or at least
well, I know
anybody. I was like, what was he bringing? Like, think about it. In all honesty, and I like Aaron Rodgers. I know a lot of people don't like him, like as a player. Because I was going to say, but you guys were on a roll with John. Like he wanted to go terror. He thinks we owe Wentz one. I looked past Wentz's personality defects. As a player, he has the tools and the talent. The personality, the brain, that's what got in his way. The only way he's going to be good in Washington this year is if he had like a little coming to Jesus moment, which is funny for as religious he is.
Yeah.
But coming at Jesus moment and say, okay, maybe I'm the problem. Everywhere I go, they seem to want to get rid of me pretty quickly. So maybe I'm the problem.
Did you hear the reports? Like, he was being chased down by Montez Sweat, and Montez Sweat's yelling at him, "Get rid of the ball, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away."
Yeah.
And he's still running, trying to make a play. And Montez Sweat turned around, looked at him, and was like, "Dude, what are you doing? Throw it away."
Yeah.
Like this is your defensive tackle telling you while he's chasing you, throw it away, and you're still trying to make a play down the field. To me, that's selfish. And besides, Jim Irsay is probably the biggest nut in the NFL, and he couldn't wait to get rid of Carson Wentz. So what's that tell you?
Yeah.
I mean, like he's the biggest.
Yeah.
Like he's the biggest goofball in the world.
It's just amazing how he goes from being just about MVP to where he's at now. Just
maybe that early success
might have
got to him. He might have always been like that, and then he had the early success and didn't think I'm not the problem. It's everybody else around me.
Right.
And he didn't think he had to change his game, and it still shows. So that's what if Washington and Carson want to have any chance of being,
they're gonna have to run the ball, run the rock.
No,
they can't depend on his arm. Like they can't.
Listen, he's got a good arm.
I mean, I'm talking about his here.
Now the decision making is a different story. From a physical arm strength and all that, he's got it. He doesn't have the elusiveness anymore. He hasn't had it since that injury in LA. I was in LA when he got hurt.
Really?
I was in the stands. I was in the Coliseum because that's where they were playing at the time.
Right.
I was in the stands, and I wrote an article based on it for EOP. Like I'm literally sitting in the airport. It was like a funeral. Like everybody's just like, I've never seen an Eagles victory where it looked like a funeral afterwards. But my point is, ever since then, he has not been able to do his elusiveness, the get out of problems like he used to.
And it didn't help the organization. It didn't do any favors either by taking the estate, making a statue of the backup quarterback.
Well, hold on, time out.
They made a lot of mistakes.
They made a lot of mistakes, but that wasn't them who made that statue. Miller Lite was the one who made.
Told them no.
They should have. Listen,
but at the same time, he should have been able to look like it's like kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, like Carson should have looked.
He
should have been like, well, look, listen, he did step in and do this. Like
he's
to
the
me,
one climbed over the bridge.
He's the one. Like I said, there's blame to go on both parts there, but like with this Eagles team now that I'm seeing here, I had a lot of nice takeaways. I thought Kazir White played well. Granted, he had that pick. I feel bad for the Jets now because now it's looking like Zach Wilson's got a torn ACL.
Well, I heard it was 2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks.
They went in. It wasn't as bad as they thought. It's 2
to 4
weeks. So he could be ready.
But still, I mean,
yeah,
that doesn't. He's got a strength in that man to come back. So I mean, once you bruise it like that, it's pretty much.
But I mean, Zach Wilson. I mean, did anybody? I don't know about you guys. I was never a huge Zach Wilson fan.
I'm not either. But
Mom's a smoke show.
But listen, I think if you're looking at the Jets, like as far as like offensive wise, like they do have some weapons. The only problem is their line. Their line is horrible. Like, and that's it doesn't matter who's back there playing quarterback from. Like they got good skill position players.
The thing is that, and all these look at a lot of the teams that have had first round picks a lot and had ability to get the top tier quarterbacks in those rounds. The Cleveland Browns, your Jets, those kind of teams, and yet they still have not. Like, the one thing you could take away from the Eagles in all this time, that like if you're a Howie lover or hater, it doesn't matter. The one thing I can never take away from him is they value the O line. They did that right.
Yes.
I had the opportunity to talk and interview Richie Incognito right after he retired, about a month or so ago, and I got to talk to him because he was kind of in that moment where linemen were a dime a dozen, barely getting paid a couple $1 million a year. The only thing they got extra is when they made the playoffs. Their running backs or wide receivers and their quarterbacks would buy them Apple computers and sneakers and such like that. And he was at the time when the NFL started paying them better than some of the normal core positions of a wide receiver or tight end or something. But the one thing they've always done is they've taken stock and finding the 5 to 10 year solution and O-line. The Eagles have done that well. That's always one thing, even though when I wanted to fire Howie, just like our boy Matty B says quite often. That's the one thing.
I'm going to get Matty B.
Matt, the Mayfair monster.
Yeah, I'm going to get Matty B a Howie Fathead. So he can put it up.
Well, did you see him? He had the green screen behind the one show. He was like, just kept like tapping him on the shoulder. Me and my buddy Howie here.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's my thing is like, then you got teams like the Jets and the Browns who, to me, have never put enough stock in it, or is it just we're lucky to have a guy like Jeff Stoutland who can really get like guys come here knowing they're not going to play for the Eagles just to get trained by Jeff Stoutland to know that they're going to go to another team and get a starting position.
Yeah, right. I mean, look at Vitae.
Yeah,
Vitae's.
He got paid big time to go to Detroit,
and he's still there.
Yeah.
Well, apparently no. Like PFF's got the Lions. Say their offensive line's pretty darn good. Like they're got them ranked 6th.
Nate Herbig found out the Jordan Davis situation pretty heavily.
Right. So, but look, man, this is we're pretty much up against it. Look, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank John Barchard from Bells and the Birdmen for chiming in. Again, you get to see his tag team partner tomorrow night on the Solar Squad at 6 p.m. But look, before I get tune any more horns about the Solar Squad, let me give you the rest of the schedule here.
Well, this is everything they've missed this week.
Yeah, this is everything that
you have
missed.
one more live show this or I'm sorry, 2 more because you have the Fighting Finals tonight.
Yes, you got Fighting Finals tonight. You got lacrosse with Philly and Beyond.
Yep.
So you don't miss those guys from our buddies from up north. Great show. I tuned into them last week. I went to see what they were all about, and there's some good guys.
All these shows are podcasted for you in case you missed it. You want the audio version, you're out mowing your lawn today, you can grab any one of these shows. And also, guys, so we've been talking about it. Our boys at the Painted Lines, we've connected with them. This is a sneak peek of what you're going to start seeing next week. This is actually next week. I didn't put out the graphic yet because I usually wait till Sunday night. But here is a sneak peek of all the lineup that we have.
Wow.
Every day between Edge of Philly Sports and the Painted Line. So,
look, I mean,
I don't know if there's enough sports there coverage for you guys, but
there is.
I'm sorry that Saturday only has two items for you, but everything else is 3 or 4 or 5 items to choose
for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stars.
It's not even done yet. Yeah. So this is what next week is lined up to look like. And like Pat just said, it could be a whole hell of a lot more.
I mean,
what day did the Eagles play this week? They play Thursday, don't they? Or is it Friday?
No, it's Sunday.
Oh, they play next Sunday.
The 21st, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, and like I said, I'll be doing a wrestling podcast tonight for Devereux Sports.
Mm-hmm.
We just had Combat Misfits come back. We got so much more going on, and then you got your out of box show.
Yeah, out of box, Big Mike's 444 every Thursday night. But guys, I'm gonna take care of this, man. We're gonna take care of some bills. So make sure we have the Birds bus trip down to DC on the 25th. It's $325. Make sure you check out www.phillysportstrips.com. Guys, I personally purchased this trip, so for $325, you can't go wrong. Make sure you check out our buddy David R. Esquire for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law. You can reach him at 565-0300. Again, that's David R. Cherry, 565-0300.
Since the words aren't here, I'll take this one. Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue, right in Ridley Park. I'm always used to saying right here because that's where we usually were.
Yeah.
But right in Ridley Park. This is just one of the many people you can hang out with. They had the Flyers PR guy the other week.
Zach Hill.
Yeah. He lives around the area. He had he retired, and you had a bunch of Flyers reporters, a bunch of ex-Flyers there. These guys, Dolan's is not just any bar. It is the bar that everybody goes to, and it's a great time. You never know what you're going to get. You're going to go.
I'm
up
gonna have
against.
to check that place out.
And yeah, it's my favorite watering hole. That is for sure. And anything else you guys want to add in before we head out?
No, I think that's pretty much about it. That's no. Well, I want to say one thing, man. It's dog days of summer for Philadelphia sports is looking pretty darn good. I mean, we got, like I said, we just had a great preseason game with the Birds. Jalen Hurts looked good, going for 6 for 6. We got the Phillies in the
Union are doing good. So.
Dog battle with the Mets, and then of course the Union is bouncing back with another dub. So I mean,
let me ask you real quick. Forgot your meal of the day. What you doing?
Oh, my meal of the day. Oh, how can I forget it? Now I'm going to twist myself here. I think we're going to do some chicken parm.
You're doing chicken parm? All right. The wife asked me to make my crock pot meatballs, so that's what I'm doing today for her.
So,
and I got a beef with one Dave Arnold.
Why?
Dave Arnold?
Yeah, I got a beef with him because
everybody seems to get a beef with him.
yeah. Well, me and him were chatting it up yesterday on the way home, and my man doesn't like to watch Spanker Vision, and I said, "What?" No, and
all right, can we go now, Al? Can we go now? Can we please go?
Well, when you're too busy filming it, you can't watch.
Yeah, and I said,
yes. All right, guys. I think on that note,
thick and girthy.
We'll see you guys next week.